Welcome to a tutorial brought to you by the Writing Center at Wallace Community College.
In this video, we will cover clauses and explain how to correctly use them in sentences. Let's get started.
Clauses come in two types, independent and dependent.
An independent clause includes a subject and a verb. It makes a complete thought and therefore can stand on its own. Here's an example.
Lexis checked out her favorite book from the library.
In this example, Lexis is the subject and checked out is the verb.
The statement makes complete sense on its own, making it an independent clause. A dependent clause, on the other hand, does not make sense on its own.
A dependent clause contains a subject and verb like an independent clause. However, because the clause begins with a dependent word, it does not form a complete thought.
Here is a list of common dependent words used to make dependent clauses.
Let's take our previous example and add one of these dependent words to the beginning.
After Alexis checked out her favorite book from the library.
Even though Lexis can still be a subject and checked out can still be a verb, the word after makes this thought incomplete.
All of a sudden, the clause does not make sense on its own because we are left with missing information.
Let's look at one more example using a different dependent word. Here is a complete sentence.
The book brims with mystery, drama, and action.
Placing the word because at the beginning of the sentence will change it from independent to dependent.
Because the book brims with mystery, drama, and action.
Like with our previous example, this sentence is missing information and does not make sense on its own.
If left alone, as in both examples, dependent clauses are considered fragments.
So in order to avoid fragment errors, writers should make sure dependent clauses are always connected to independent clauses. This is great, but how do we connect them?
We can simply place the dependent clause before or after an independent clause. Let's look at two examples of both clauses working together.
After Lexis checked out her favorite book from the library, she read at a coffee shop for 1 hour.
The book ranks as her favorite story of all time because it brims with mystery, drama, and action. Both sentences present dependent clauses connected to independent clauses.
In the first example, the dependent clause comes at the beginning of the sentence, while in the second example, it comes at the end after the independent clause.
Notice when the dependent clause appears first, we place a comma between the two clauses. When the dependent clause appears second, however, we do not separate the two parts with a comma.
When composing sentences, writers should be conscious of when they use dependent words to make dependent clauses. When used, those dependent clauses should be combined with independent clauses to make complete, clear sentences.
Remembering these tips will go a long way in improving one's writing.
Thanks for watching this video. If you have any other questions, feel free to check out our other videos or visit us in the Writing Center.